My mic sounds nice. David, talk.
Meh. Talking.
All right.
Talk.
Check.
Talk.
Talk. Yeah. The other thing again. So talk like towards your mic. I'm just curious now.
Talk.
I'm gonna talk ahead.
Talk ahead.
Like no,
Talk
face forward.
ahead. Oh, talk. Talk.
Yeah. So it just blows out a lot when you're facing your mic.
Hmm.
You might need to turn sensitivity down, but then I guess you're not speaking. You're not ever really speaking at the mic too often, so it's not a big deal. Kel's already in the chat. What up, Kels?
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir. All right.
Where'd that GPO go?
All right. Hold.
You hold. Arrow, buddy.
All right. I had to check some settings real quick. I'm gonna grab some water. David, talk to chat, and we'll start.
I ain't talking to shit. Hold on, I gotta deal with the cat real quick.
Okay, I'll let you deal with that first. I want us to both be gone. What up? What up, chat? What up, Kels? Alert gang in chat.
Arrow, you're out for the night, buddy. It's you and me, homie. We're doing this.
He's totally gonna get up again in about like 15 minutes.
You're not going back out, so I don't want to see you starting to scream at the door again.
I give it 15 minutes.
Yeah, probably, if that.
All right, I'll be right back.
Hell yeah. I'm Mr. Meon. Come here, buddy. Arrow, what are you doing? You little gremlin. This fucking child. You're an absolute menace. You're Meon. Did I really only take 13 hours and 11 hours to platinum Persona 5 and 3 dancing? Interesting. Arrow, the fuck, buddy? Why you just going throwing my shit on the ground? Why you do that? Why you do that? All right. Finally got the fucking PlayStation year in review to work here. Let's see if I can get the Xbox one loading. All right, let me actually pull chat up because I just realized I can't actually see chat. Hell yeah, Kells, let's go. You baby. I don't think the camera can't actually see you. Come here, Chunkles. Oh my goodness, you so big. You're so big. My biggest boy. Fluffy baby.
So weird. What the fuck? I come back, my mic's just not on, and everything froze.
You'll love to see it.
Yeah. Did you read the chat?
There wasn't much in chat when I looked.
Okay, because they're asking about where am I at, and is that Juniper?
Not Juniper. This is Arrow.
This man said nothing in chat, and they're literally talking to you. What up,
Kids
Backy?
these days.
I was about to. I came back and I'm like, oh, cool. I was hoping chat wasn't bored. And there's David just petting the pussy and not talking to anyone.
Yeah, I don't fucking talk to people.
Weird.
What do you think this is? A fucking podcast?
Yeah. You've done a lot of podcasts now. You spent how many hours? I stopped putting these in playlists, which sucks. Let's do. I'm curious now. Let's just. What do you think the average length of a Blue Rupees is? I'd say let's just I think we lowball and put like 2 hours, right? Because we got a lot of
I was
posts.
gonna say about 2.5 hours.
We have to. I'll lowball. I think 2 hours is low. I think because we've gotten a lot more. We got a lot higher most of the time. Which, by the way, I don't want to point this out, but I'm gonna because it bugs me. I don't know why there's this blue blotch here. If anyone knows why webcam does this blue blotch right here that I'm poking at, let me know if there's a way I can fix that. I think I might need to buy a new webcam. Does it bother me that much? Oh yeah, actually, it does bother me a lot.
I was gonna say, knowing you, yes, that's
Yeah.
bothering you a lot right now.
Is it gonna affect the stream that much? No, not really. But I am whenever I'm gameplay streaming now. I'm still talking. This is podcast material. Yeah, why am I gonna do this? All right, let's just fucking do this. Welcome to the Breweries Podcast, episode number 233. I'm Adrian. That's David. I just need to shut up because I was gonna just talk about all this stuff and go on a tangent, and we're not even recording yet. So now we're here. This is our video game podcast. Go live every Tuesday, barring coming up here because we have what the day after Christmas, and you'll be free January 2nd. I don't feel like that's not an issue, but day after Christmas, you're booked up or not?
What?
I thought.
Yeah, I work.
Oh, okay. So you're still fine day after Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Never mind. So Blue Ruby's fine. Game's Gone By is a little funky, but I mean, we're almost getting there. Look, I got juice now. There you go. It's Cat Cast.
Battle of the Orange Cats.
Yeah, who's gonna jump off a building first?
I mean, this one's got a little bit of a weight class advantage on yours, but
Do they? Because Juice is a thick boy, dude.
I don't like. He's a fucking beach ball. Look at him.
Yeah, but Juice is like that thick, nimble though. You know, like it's like linebacker built. You know. At back is asking, that's the inbred cat.
Yes, this is the inbred cat.
All right, so yeah, so Blue Ruby's fine. I had this. Okay, so I was telling before the stream started or the recording started. There's a blue blotch here. It's bugging me. If anyone knows what that is, tell me. I might need to buy a new webcam. I'm experimenting on my gameplay stuff. I kind of had to set myself like in a corner. I know more streamers like do like the more like focused frame cutout just to get the actual reaction, which is fair. I just kind of just got lazy and just always put my webcam there. So I'm focusing on like centering out the camera like this. Which means that blue blotch got a lot more prominent to me, even though it still wasn't an issue. So if anyone knows what that is, please tell me. Otherwise, I'm just gonna buy a new webcam, I guess. Which sucks because this one's actually kind of been solid, but whatever. Yeah. So we talk about video games. We're doing that thing. It's been kind of a light week, aside from a couple things that probably won't keep too long. So it's probably one of those podcasts where we just talk some shit, David.
Hell yeah, I love talking shit.
Yeah, I thought you didn't like talking.
No, I love talking shit.
Oh, okay.
It's the difference.
Okay.
All right, you're getting wiggle wormy. Go.
Look at this guy. Oh, he fucked you up.
Right in the eye.
Look at this guy though. I'm scratching his tooth right now. He loves it.
Hell yeah.
He's so stupid. So yeah, we talk about video games. We do all that stuff. We're gonna have a couple things like E3. It was funny. I saw. Shout out to Billy the Door on Twitter. Right when this got posted, he's like, "Ooh, the sigh of gamer bros is they found out their podcast has a topic this week." I was like, yeah. But I mean, I don't really feel like we need to like everyone's like mourning E3 as if it like it's not been a thing for a hot minute. We'll talk about that though. Are you all right?
Dude, I got so much fucking cat on me. Like,
I
holy
mean-
hell.
Yeah, this is a cat or everything, David. Come on,
Bro, it's fucking winter. They shouldn't be shedding like this.
they're cats,
Yeah, but it's winter coat season.
so I don't give a shit. They're domesticated cats inside of a warm place in the winter. They think their bodies give a shit.
Yeah.
Lol cat live. Shout out to Kyle. Hey
Hell
Kyle, you
yeah.
still gonna hop in for some FF7 Rebirth talk? Hope you are, because we're gonna do a spoiler cast on that when that comes out. Look at his face. Look at his cat's face, dude.
Good face.
Yeah, he's loving this right now. Let's just jump into it. David, what'd you get this week?
Hell yeah. I didn't get too much. I do have a story to go with it, though. So one of the things I did get, and it's not in my pile over here, but I did get the latest Evercade release, which is the Duke Nukem Classic Collection. So it has the Duke Nukem platformers and Duke Nukem 3D on it.
Nice.
But I bring that up because I learned something, which is I was actually in the mood to try to kind of start playing through some more games on my Evercade. So I was like, I'll bust out a couple cartridges. And I realized one of them didn't work. And so I went through my entire collection because I don't fucking... I obviously do not play everything when I buy
You don't
it.
test shit, dude.
No, because too much. Look at all this shit. Look at all this shit. Ain't nobody got time for that. But now I've learned it has somewhat bitten me in the ass.
How would you
As now I
feel
have
genuinely?
3 cartridges that don't work.
How would you feel genuinely? Like, if you decide, you know what, fuck this is annoying, I'm gonna go test all my shit, and let's say 75% of your collection didn't work.
Honestly, most of it I wouldn't care if it didn't work or not. My PlayStation 1 library I wouldn't care. My PS2 library I wouldn't care.
You wouldn't
I
care?
wouldn't care about my GameCube library. Wouldn't care about my Super Nintendo library.
I'd be extremely upset if 70% of 75% of my collection didn't work.
The reason why is I don't use the actual games when I'm playing on those consoles. I just play everything off SD cards. So these are literally just for display.
Then sell
for
them.
me. No.
I don't know, I'd be upset.
I just said these are for display.
Okay, see, because you're a preservation guy. You like the physical media stuff, which is fair. But like,
Yeah.
I feel like that takes away immediately. If all your shit doesn't work, that I mean, like, again, it kills your stuff. Like, I mean, I get like you still have a way, but like that's the whole point of you having the collection is your physical media, right?
Yeah, and if I ever lose the ability to use my modified consoles, then obviously these are the backup option. But that's part of the preservation is trying to just keep them nice, tidy, organized, and just displayed and used as little as possible. But at the same time, like as long as I have my modified console, I don't inherently mind if necessarily something doesn't work today because fuck it, it's there to be a display piece. At
I
that
forget
point.
that you and I are different with that, which is like my collection is literally played. Like,
Yeah, no. Honestly, half my consoles. Oh yeah, my Xbox games. Yeah, no. Genuinely, half my games are literally just for display pieces. There, I don't actually physically use them.
yeah, I'm still busting out the 64. My GameCube's connected to my living room television, dude. Like,
Yeah, my GameCube's hooked up to shit. I got that.
but I'm busting
my
out
server
the
rack of consoles.
discs, David.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Yeah, that's what I'm
preserving
saying.
them,
I'm saying
making
that's
sure
what
they
we're.
don't nothing happens to them.
Nah, man.
That's why I got my modified GameCube and my modified Saturn and my flash cart on my Super Nintendo and my modified Wii and my modified Xbox.
Nah, I just play it just the way it is. Fuck it. Yeah, actually, I think
Games are expensive. Fuck
mean,
it.
There. You know what? There's still like a charm to playing. Just even like, even if it doesn't really affect anything, there's like a charm to it. I feel like it feels like interesting. Like putting Drakengard into my PS3 and booting that up last summer was fucking. It was weird, like, but in a good way. Like, it felt fun. I don't know. That was part of the fun.
I certainly understand people that have that attachment to the actual like physical process. But for me, I care more about actually playing on the original platform than I do care about using the actual media to play on the
Sure.
platform.
I get that. I think that's funny. That's where our collector sides differ. Um, yeah. Really quick, Culls talk about their Huskies blew their coats at the end of November, which Husky hair is fucking nuts.
Fucking ridiculous. They are the sweetest, dumbest babies, but goddamn, they fucking thick with the fur.
Yeah, right. Do you want to also talk about what happened this last week with your big purchase that didn't happen?
Yeah, we'll get to that at the end there.
Okay. 'Cause
Real
that's in the
quick,
would you not buy section.
Yeah, what did I unfortunately not buy section? It'll happen. It's just timing, unfortunately. Other than that, I managed to get this complete in box, including all the trading cards with it. But Battle of Dragons on the DS, fun little adventure game, TCG hybrid bullshit. I got it because it was fucking dirt cheap for it to be fully complete in box. So I was like, why not? Plus, again, I'm always a sucker for anything with a TCG component, so wanted to check that out. And then I snagged this for $2 whole. So I was like, sure, I'll take that. And it is a sealed copy of iToy Play 2. So I have a nice
Would you play the first one
sealed
though?
copy of that.
You won't
Huh?
get the story of the second one if you don't play the first.
I do have the first one.
Then you
I
gotta
mean,
play the first
granted, I could also just throw them on the hard drive and modify PS2 anyways, but...
fake gamer.
And we'll get to the what did I not buy section. And to answer Kyle's question, unfortunately, I added it to my fucking cart the second that motherfucker was put up for sale. I added to my goddamn cart, and I walked for a half hour as the goddamn checkout page kept fucking crashing. I was ready to go. I'm like, all right, I got my 750 put off to the side. I'm all set. We're Gucci. I just need to go ahead and check out. But the site was crashing for a straight half fucking hour until finally it stayed load, just to say, yeah, fucking sold out, bitch. Okay, thanks, bye.
So I'm not gonna. So we're gonna come back to that story in a second. I just want to point out because I will forget. When you get excited and your voice gets up, that's when it blows out.
There.
So
Luckily, I don't get excited often.
yeah, so we'll figure something out with that. So, hey, shout outs. We'll talk about it in a second. I don't want to ruin your story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, unfortunately, I was not here. Let me see if it helps if I put it even further away from me. Just because my voice is loud enough to probably carry over there is fine. It's one of those unfortunate things that I really fucking wanted this. I've talked about this for months on the podcast. I adore the retro tank to the point where when I accidentally broke my retro tank 5X, I still replaced it. So that was a $300 drop in the bucket to replace my 5X. Knowing full well that if I probably just waited, I could have got this, but thankfully I didn't because I'd be waiting. But also genuinely, Mike Shee just did not expect the amount of sales that he was getting
At that fucking price point, I'm sorry, dude. That's enthusiast price point, and oof.
Yeah, no, it is 100% like that is the Ferrari of scalers. Like that is the Lamborghini. That is the absurd high end.
You
You
got
want every goddamn feature possible. Fucking here you go, but you're paying for every goddamn feature.
you got like Hyperkin on the bottom, and then like that's like literally the polar opposite.
The fucking pound is at the bottom. But yeah, no, it's fucking like truly. If you have not watched any like videos really detailing just what you can do, I would really recommend, especially My Life in Gaming's video breakdown on it. They do a really good job of breaking down what most people would probably want out of it. Uh, Absolutely fucking adore it. I can't wait to get my hands on it. But again, especially because like all of like online, whether it was Reddit or Twitter or whatever, people bitching about the price tag, how no one's interested so much. He's like, well, I'll just get like a hardy stockpile built up and then we'll see what happens. He didn't expect it to be sold out like it was. But he's hoping to have more stock by mid to late January. So hopefully not too long of a wait, maybe just another month or so until I can get an order in. But it's not like the product's ever going away. It's going to keep being made. That's his new baby. And again, shout out to Mike. If you've never used a RetroTink product in the past, that dude puts a ton of fucking effort into his products and he constantly supports them to the point where even now that the Tink 4K is out, he's still providing free updates for the Tink 5X. He's going ahead and anything that he can basically retrofit that he's learned to develop for the 4K, he's backporting over to the 5X. Dude provides amazing support for his products, and truly, if you're someone that has multiple gaming consoles that you really like to use, and a 4K TV especially, it's a steep asking price when there are other competitors out there like the OSCC Pro that you could use that kind of does what the 4K RetroTink does, but not to the same level that it does for half the price. But truly, if you really are just like, I just want the best, it's fucking worth the investment, especially if you're putting that level of time and energy into retro consoles. Absolutely fucking cannot sing its praises enough. Yeah, Kyle,
not gonna jump over. Yeah, I was not gonna
sorry.
jump over Kel's. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, Kyle, I was really close to buying it. I use the 5X nearly every day.
Hell yeah.
Kyle, when are you gonna hop on? Hop on the podcast.
Yeah, do it now.
Every Tuesday, just be on from now on. Rest of whenever. Kyle said, I feel less pain. I want the analog pocket, but I can never get it on the pre-order. They sell it instantly. I want an analog pocket. I don't need it though, just because I have a modified GBA with the really nice screen, with the IPS screen.
Yep.
And then with the USB-C charger, by the way, it's so sick. And then I wanted to get the I'm gonna get it, even though David's talking me out, trying to talk about it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get the analog 64 because I love the 64 because I love the 64, dude. Like any way I could do 64 stuff, it's just like
just get a Mister or get the fucking Mars when that comes out. Like I don't understand, like, and I know this is just me being
Grumpy.
me in some way. But I genuinely don't understand spending the money for a single dedicated FPGA console that one is going to have insanely high or insanely low stock constantly, and two is going to be dedicated basically to just one console, when for the same price or just a hair more depending on if you want different accessories and whatnot for it, you can get a Mister, and then for definitely a few bucks more, get the Mars when that releases, and be able to basically play everything up to Saturn, and actually the Mars will do up to Dreamcast.
I get it, but like, I like 64. Like, I get it. I know. And you're not wrong.
Put it in a fucking 64 shell. Problem solved. There you go.
Yeah,
Merry
but
Christmas.
you know, you don't know, but you know. Yeah. Kyle says, all the analog stuff, all the other analog stuff is lame. Pocket is the exception. Nothing else fits its niche.
The Pocket, I will grant, if only just because the only real competition it has in the market is software emulation consoles, like that one that you got that has the like achievement system built into it.
The
Which
Mini.
I think honestly the concept is kind of neat.
I'm glad you turned around a little bit because I remember go look. I don't remember the episode, but look at the episode that I got that in, and David looks at me like I'm a fucking idiot for buying one of those like AliExpress type things, but like it's a solid console. Like, there's a reason why I was picking up really good Steam. Is like it's a solid, well built thing. It looks really pretty. It's super small, compact, and yeah, it has some features in it that you can rock with it. Put the other OS on it, get some achievements on that thing.
I think the concept is neat for the achievements. I would like to see that added into other emulators, though, just because, especially if a Steam Deck, there's no point other than just the form factor then.
That's fair. I mean, but it's just cool. Like, that thing is a thing I could just toss in wherever because it's so small, and it's like cool. I got all my stuff with me. Whereas like Steam Deck, if I'm taking a Steam Deck, I gotta like plan to bring the Steam Deck. Miyoo Mini, it's kind of like almost like the Playdate where it just I could toss it wherever and it's gonna fit, which is cool.
That's fair.
Like I took that when I was camping because it just fit. Like I was stuffed when I was like had so much stuff, but it was like cool, and it has a great battery life in it. That's fine. Yeah, causes the screen and speakers, open FGA ish is world class stuff plus screen filters. Plus, it's a nice ass looking console.
I mean, the screen on it is gorgeous. I will definitely give that to the Analog Pocket. They fucking did some insane work to get the best fucking screen they could on that product.
My brother-in-law has one, and I'm always tempted just because it just looks like a slick device. But unless I just pay off debts and have just extra fuck you money right now, I'm like, I don't need that because I have the Game Boy is like, dude, busting out the GBA just out of nowhere is super fun. I don't know, there's a charm to that thing. Fits so good and it's so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was David's tragedy. So now he's got to hold on to that money. So he's gonna be not as spending because he knows he has to be ready for whenever that thing peaks its head back out.
Plus, I mean, Christmas and my partner's birthday are around the corner, so.
Why don't you guys cancel each other's birthday out? Say, hey, my gift to you, you give to me. We'll just cancel out and save money.
I mean, she's usually fine with just like simple things. I'm the expensive, needy bitch in the relationship.
Yeah, I don't envy people that buy me stuff because it's like it's so hard to get me gifts. I heard some of my students talking, and it was like one of the girls was planning. One of the girls is dating a boy from my other class, and she's talking about like, oh yeah, I can't wait. I just hope he likes it. Like that's the biggest worry. I was like, hey, be glad you're in that spot of like, I hope he likes it, because you don't want to ever be in a spot with me where it's not I hope he likes it. It's I hope he doesn't have this, which chances are I do. It's been extremely difficult. I had to tell my family, like, just go on my Amazon wish list. Everything that I want but just do not want to buy is on there. It's like everything. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I like this. I don't want to spend money on it. Cool. There it is.
Yeah, I've started keeping. I have a self-hosted wish list service just because a lot of what I want's not on Amazon.
Right.
So I go ahead and have a self-hosted option for that. And that is really the key problem when it comes to shopping for me, is anything I want to just buy myself, because if I fucking want it, I'm gonna buy it. So
Shit, I'll even take people just buying stuff off my classroom wish list. Like, that's fine. I think that thing, like, it got bought out, which was great, but it's already backfilled up because shouts to education, right?
Hell yeah.
Cal says, I like the stuff it provides to developers too. I always wanted to make a a Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance throwback game. I'm of that
All
mind
that stuff's
too.
not unique to the Pocket though. That's all stuff you can just do with other services.
Right. I was this close. I didn't do it, but I was this close, and it would have upset you, just because of what we talked about, even like the last episode. But I was this close to buying the. There was a bundle on Humble with the books, with software books about how to develop for Unreal 5. Um,
Hell yeah.
oh, you would have been hell yeah about that because I thought you would have wanted for sure stick with RPG Maker.
I mean, I ain't fucking coding in Unreal Engine 5, but if you
I
want to
would.
do coding,
I
go
don't
for
know,
it.
dude. There's
I hate coding. I will flat out say right now.
coding
I, I
sucks.
I went to school for coding during the brief period I was in college, and I fucking hate coding. It
It
is basically I have evolved to a point in my life where I'm the equivalent of someone that can read a language but not speak it necessarily.
sure.
I can go ahead and tell you exactly what any bit of code is doing. I can't fucking program it just because I fall asleep. Coding is the most boring, monotonous, repetitive shit, and I hate it.
Yeah, in high school I had to do that, and pretty much one of my friends did the entire class for me, which is the only reason why I passed it. But like, I don't know, David. There's been something in my brain wiggling just lately. I've had this like atom in my body for like a long time. It's literally been just that though. It's like not. It's been like so negligible of like, and in fact, I'm pretty sure I didn't have it for that long because I'm pretty sure I'd never thought this. Where I was like, I don't think I'd ever make a video game, and like maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know what it is, David, but like over the last like 3 or 4 months, I'm like, I kind of want to just like, I want to make that game that I would love for like a collab, right? I would love for, I think we could rock a pretty solid like RPG, but like,
Hmm.
I don't know. Part of me just kind of wants to. I'm of two minds right now. I'm like, part of me either wants to like be locked in the cabin for like 6 months and just like let me just write some shit finally. Lock me away, throw away the key. Let me come back when something's fucking done finally, because that's what I need. I need to stop being stimulated by everything else. Put me away. Uh, or I'm like, I think I just want to make a game. I think this is about time. I think I've had enough kind of just like floating ideas around where I'm like, I kind of want to up over and over. You reap the rewards hopefully if you just craft it. Because that's the thing. I feel like you and I are so picky that like we wouldn't put out a bad game genuinely. Like I just
No, we wouldn't
it would
lie
not
to
see the
our
light
listening
of
and say that
day
we weren't.
that game ever came out.
Truly, I think that would be our biggest problem. Is I think we would
Over perfect it.
be so hesitant to release it until we were like, no, this is eat.
Right. Cal said, "Put me away in the Alan Wake writer's room and let me cook, bro." That's literally what I've been thinking of. I booted up, and this is jumping ahead, but not really. I booted up Alan Wake because they put out the final draft, and man, I just fucking love that cabin, dude. That cabin's so sick. Like I would have loved. I hope. I want to go to Finland just to see the Remedy Studios and see if they'll give me a tour. I would love that. I feel like they're the studio that would be okay with giving you a tour. And then I want to be like just flexing some ideas, and then I hope they hire me and I just move to Finland and write stories. That's a dream now. Genuinely, like I've thought about that like over the last like couple weeks. I'm like, dude, I would love to write for Remedy. I think they're the kind that would like let you just do the weirdest shit and like support you, which is cool. Um,
That could be neat. That is one thing I still wish was a more viable career option, was actually being just a dedicated writer for games.
which is, I mean, studios like Remedy will let you do that for sure.
Fair.
I I put that I've since over like the last like day or two genuinely I've always told myself literally the only thing I would ever quit teaching for is to go make like a movie, and I wouldn't even do like I wouldn't just quit forever. I would do like maybe 2 to 3 movies tops, and I'd come back teaching. I'm not built for that lifestyle, but I'm thinking about I'm like I can write, and then I'm sure I could write myself some games, and I'm sure I could eventually direct one. So I'm like, I would do that if the right studio, which I mean, there's like I can only think of Remedy right now, Remedy and maybe like one or two other ones. I have to think about it. If the right studio like hired me, I would do it. I think, genuinely. But the problem is
I would tickle their balls.
we'd have to like make something though. We can't just say, hey, we're good, right? We'd have to like.
Yeah.
So that's I don't know. I've been just toying with that idea that maybe I just say fuck it to the rest of the things I've been trying to do and just start fresh with a whole new project. because that's the thing, right? Is like I've had every project idea that I have has been something that's been on my mind forever. But like, what if I just say fuck it, toss it all out, and just do something completely left field, which is like make a fucking video game. I think about that. That's my new thought, really. So I'm like, and then but I looked up reviews. People are like, the books are not bad, but it's like also just like do some video stuff, and I'm like, that's fair. I'm a visual learner, so I probably shouldn't spend money on books and just watch videos of how people code. Don't be surprised if you see in like 5 years I create something. That'd be dope, dude. Anyway, David, you get anything else?
No, that is basically all I got. Again, the shopping's wound down a bit.
This is fair. Okay. Digital. I got some games. I think I got the Cosmic Witch Sisterhood or something like that, which I heard was good. Hey, I got oh, David, you still owe me a video game. Fuck you. I didn't forget about that.
Nah, fake news.
No, you owe me a video game. Fuck you.
Fake news.
But speaking of those, if anyone's interested in like one of the humble bundles, like something like it, does anyone here like, and anyone in the chat not have Hollow Knight on Steam? I'll give you that. I actually bought a bundle that I own most of the stuff for, which is always the worst feeling in the world. Because I looked at the top 2 games I wanted. I'm like, oh, cool. I never bought this bundle, I guess. And then every other fucking game was like, hey, you already have this. You already have this. I'm like, motherfucker, I just wasted money. So I gave some games to the kids, so I didn't waste money. It feels better that way. Dibs? All right, Kels. Message me on Twitter in a DM, and I'll send you that one after the podcast. Yes, I got that. I bought this. It's $15 at Target. I don't know if I'll play it, but maybe. I got Samba de Amigo. This is one of those games where I'm like, this is one of those like purchases that I've made that I was like, I don't know how I feel about this because this is like not the things I do anymore. But $15, like that's fine. I had these for a while. I was gonna wait because Fangamer, I'm waiting on 2 more orders from. But I want to put these in the classroom because the kids have been. I told the kids I got this and they were actually like, oh, can you bring that in, please? Because that sounds dope. So I got myself a Pyramid Head plush. Shouts to Pyramid Head.
Hell yeah.
And then I got the little kid from Little Nightmares. Take off his little mask, and there he is. Look, there he is. Looks just like me. All right, put that away because it's scary. All right, that's all I got. I got some more stuff from Fangamer coming, but it's a bit backed up for obvious reasons.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, Fangamer. I forget about that shit every year. I just get snuck up by Fangamer. Like, hey, brand new merch, free shipping. If you buy this much, you'll get a gift code at the end of the sale. I'm like, shit. I just want to buy everything. David, what'd you play this week?
Hell yeah, Her Story. Go check out our Games Gone By episode on it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it was a good episode.
Other than that, I just played like basically 10 minutes worth of like a metric ton of games. Like I said, I was testing my Evercade there, making sure that all my cartridges were working correctly after I discovered that one of them wasn't. No sense going into all of them, but yeah, I played dozens of games for like 10-minute intervals.
Fair. Also Her Story, talked about on the podcast. I think it was a good episode. Twitch.tv/ Games Gone By podcast. Next game, a little plug segment. Next game is Nier Replicant. That's happening January 8th. Game after that is The Beginner's Guide. That's happening
You'll love to see it.
January 15th. And then Persona 5 Royal is happening January 29th. So 3 games gone by in January just to get us caught up back to where we were supposed to be. And slowly but surely, dude. We got Phoenix Wright coming up eventually. We got Yakuza coming up. We got 13 Sentinels, dude. We're gonna have 13 Sentinels coming up, dude.
Yeah.
We got
we got some bangers.
Black Mesa, I think is February.
One of the next ones, yeah.
I think Black Mesa is the one after that. I think 13 Sentinels is March, I want to say. Enter the Gungeon, Cook Serve Delicious. We got some stuff, dude. It's gonna be a good season.
Yeah, I'm glad that we did throw in a few that were just kind of fun gameplay ones, because it will be nice to just kind of have like a few fuck around games in there.
Yeah.
Which I think is probably one of the things that we really should have thought about with the first couple seasons, is honestly just genuinely throwing in a fuck around game or two.
Well, the problem with the first season is we kind of made it in a little competition, which was fine in spirit, but the difference with the way we're doing it now is a little more collaborative in terms of what we're picking. So like we've talked about this plenty of times. I don't mind saying it again. Like I said, we picked it out like trying like one like more selfishly, but like kind of also hope. So like I like hoping you liked it. That's why I made that one rule that I think second season, right? Where it's like pick a game where you think someone else might like it, right? Um,
Yeah.
but now instead of that, we just threw out the way we did it before and decided that hey, let's just play the games that we really want to play. And then if there's a game that one of us really wants the other one to play, sure. Um, so I think it was hard to do a fuck around game because that was someone's choice, right? They didn't have we had like 4 picks per each season, and
Yeah.
no one wanted to do a fuck around game just to have it clear, right? Um, but yeah, no, I think it's good to have one of those games just because I don't want to get burnt out on games gone by taking away from time that I could spend with new games as well, right? So like
That's fair.
next year is going to be just as hectic as this year, it seems like.
I
So
mean, especially at the start of the year. Goddamn.
right, so it's lucky that we got
Oh
like
fuck! With that in mind, honestly, just to double check, what is February again?
Black Mesa,
Black Mesa, let me
which is
double
like 8 or
check.
10
I think-
hours.
Should we switch that with one of the more kind of fuck aroundy games where that's
No.
where seven's dropping?
No, and you know what though? The reason why I say no to is I think they're so opposite. I wouldn't mind alternating. Black Mesa and FF7 are gonna be so different that I'll that's fine with me.
Okay.
If you we'll talk about it later. But like, I also
No, I was just thinking that, if we're doing, because we're getting into a string of beefy boy games right now, and seven will be another beefy boy game.
here's the issue. If we do that, then we're kind of leaving literally the last tail end of the reason why games gone by. You're right. The last couple games I think are literal Ace Attorney and Yakuza 0.
Yeah.
So if we do the fuck around games now, it's like Black Mesa, 13 Sentinels, Phoenix Wright, Yakuza 0.
I mean, that's a strong end.
It's a strong end, but it's also like a heavy. I don't know how much time we're gonna have to play anything. Which is why Yakuza is like in June, because like we should be able to avoid
Fair.
a lot of games in June. I need a break just from that because I don't want it. In a perfect world, banger after banger is nice, but also it's not a perfect world, and I do want to play other games, and I need a break somewhere. And very rarely
No,
do
that's
we
reasonable.
very rarely do we get a chance to like play a game at launch and knock it out. Like when's Rebirth again? Is it end of February?
Yeah, it's like mid-February, I think.
Let me check. Are you doing it? Okay, I'm gonna let you check. David is checking.
Oh yeah, end of February. I think it's Reload that is beginning of February or mid-February.
Tekken? No, is it Tekken at the end of January?
Tekken is February as well. February 2nd is Persona 3 Reload.
Fuck.
And Tekken 8 is tail end of January for Tekken 8. It's January.
Okay, so no,
26th.
we're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Never mind. I thought Rebirth was coming out earlier, so that means we're gonna have 13 Sentinels and FF7 same time, which is not the move, but we'll figure it
Yeah,
out.
because it's fine. We'll make do. Worst case scenario, we don't need. I mean, it'll be hard not to get spoilers online, which will be the thing for you. to
No,
kind
we're
of
gonna
try to
knock out.
dodge.
We're gonna knock out FF7.
I mean, if it's a 100-hour game like they're anticipating,
I think we're gonna.
I think I might take time off for it.
I might. I wonder. I've never. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've like taken off for a game. I don't remember the last time I did.
I think the last time I took off time for a game was StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void.
Last time I think I did. Last time I did. No, well, mine's worse. Last time I did was for Halo 2 Anniversary. And I spent all day.
Not
just,
even for the Halo 2 shutdown?
No. It was. I stayed on for the Master Chief Collection, which was broken. So, I think I took a day off to play about 2 Halo 2 matches. Shoutouts.
Hell yeah.
Cal's asks, does anything carry over item wise from the remake? How does that work?
No, the way it works is that if you have a save file from FF7 Remake, you'll get a couple bonus items, but they wanted to not have to worry about balancing for whatever people may or may not have done in 7 Remake. So Rebirth will basically be starting from scratch. You'll be at like a default higher level to reflect that you've already gone through a portion of the journey, but it's the statistical equivalent as if you were starting at level 1 again. You don't have
Narratively,
like
that
a
always sucks. I think narratively, that just kind of it's unfortunate, right? But like,
yeah.
that's game design. So I mean, shout outs to Spider-Man 2 for kind of not making you feel that, which was nice. So like, it felt like you were just improving from upon stuff that you've already learned from before, because it's like the Metroid problem, right? It's like,
Yeah.
all right, how do we take away all this shit from Samus? All right, I guess I'll give him right back later. Which kind of gets annoying.
I don't remember because I never actually played through all of the Mass Effect trilogy. How did it handle it? Did all your stats fully carry over, or was it just what you did?
Good question. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it all carried over somehow.
Okay, that's something that long term.
Oh no! It didn't. It didn't. It didn't, because remember the way it did that was that you lost, like, you got knocked the fuck out at the beginning of yeah.
Oh, okay.
Remember, yeah, Kel said Shepard dies between each one, right? Remember, like, at the beginning of Mass Effect 2, he's like getting fucked by that. He like dies off that ship, and they bring him back.
I never actually finished 2, so no.
No, it's the start. I mean, the start of it.
Oh, the start of 2, yeah.
Yeah. So you get fucked in between it, and that's the way they reset.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's eventually I do want to go through the whole trilogy, proper. Like, I know obviously everything that happens because we've talked about the indoctrination theory before and all that, but
I'm gonna put this out there. I'm gonna regret it immediately. So let's tread lightly.
Are you putting out there that we still have that one undecided month that maybe we
no, we don't have an oh yeah, we have fan month. I forgot, huh?
Yeah, we have a fan month.
No. I think if anything, we're kind of selling to ourselves that we figured. Well, no, because I don't want to do anything too big, last second. But I'm not opposed to it next season.
Shower with your dad simulator. It is
genital jousting, hatred.
Mount your friends.
Mount your friends 3D. Yeah, no, I wouldn't mind it maybe, but we'd have to talk about that because it's also going to be a long one. The reason why Persona 5 and Yakuza 0 are happening in the same season is because both Dave and I have finished Persona 5, so it was like, if worst comes to worst, if we can't finish it, we both played it and both know it inside and out, and worst case, we can like just rewatch a couple videos if we need to. And then Yakuza 0, I'm going to for sure go, which is going to suck. Which, by the way, I don't know. I am the one getting fucked by having a 100-hour game this season, so Red Dead 2 is happening next season. Just shout outs, David.
You say it as if I'm not gonna go through Yakuza 0 with you.
Yeah, but you know, like, it's gonna take me longer.
I mean, it might actually take me longer because I'm having Leah play through it.
It's fair. I have it on Steam Deck too. We'll see. I wonder if I don't know if I should go play through Steam Deck or play it through my PS5. Because like,
I'll probably have it on Steam just so I can get the Steam achievements because I've already played through it on PS4.
Yeah, I like collecting it still on my PlayStation, but like the idea of being able to just like sit on the couch and just play it while something else is being played and something else, you know, like someone could do something else. I have a podcast going, and I'll just be on the Steam Deck just kind of chilling. It's not.
Oh, I don't have 0 on Steam. I thought I did. I got 1 through 4, but I don't have 0.
How the fuck do you have 0?
Oh, because the only reason I have the Yakuza games to begin with is from Humble Bundles, so I don't think 0 was in a Humble Bundle.
Oh no, it was probably they always have the Yakuza collections, which means that you should just wait for the Steam sale because I'm sure like it's gonna be dirt ass cheap when they have here's buy the Yakuza collection. Oh, you own 5? Here's this one. We'll pay you $3 to take this one.
I don't want to rebuy it if I already have it though. I only have the duplication because of Humble Bundles.
I know, but I'm saying it's gonna be so cheap anyway because you have most of the bundle. What the fuck, dude? Why would you bite me?
That's what they do.
Brain cell. Anyway, banger season, so I'm excited.
Great.
Hey, what the fuck? Chill. Okay.
There is no chill.
Cats. I don't know. Cats seeing red, literally. Are cats colorblind like dogs are?
What?
Aren't dogs colorblind? Isn't that what the thing is, or is that fake?
Yeah, cats do have a color blindness as well.
Idiot.
I think blue is like one of the few colors they can actually like properly interpret.
Oh, so no, never mind. I'm not gonna talk about cats. Uh, I don't know. Let's see. Played her story. Yeah, finished up Mario Wonder. Shoutouts to Mario Wonder. It was fun. Um, I like the. I think this is a solid direction for the series from here on. Um, I was hoping for a second that they were taking like a Mario 64 approach with it, and like every stage has some sort of objective that you need to get through to by the end. I thought that would have been cool. Instead, it's like each stage has maybe like most of them have two, some have one, some have three seeds you can get through each time. Since it sold well, it's selling extremely well. I'm hoping that they kind of take that Mario 64 approach and like, okay, you can go through each stage like 8 times. Give me less stages, that's fine, but give me like ways to go about it, which is cool. Bit too easy, especially with if you have online and you can see other people in there, they can all revive you as soon as you die. So, it's a pretty easy game. Wasn't challenged too hard by it. There's only a couple stages I died maybe like 10, 15 times trying to get through, and that's about it. And you're kind of bombarded with lives here or there. But overall, I had a really fun time with it. Been playing Hi-Fi Rush, trying to get through that. I'm bummed that the only reason I'm playing it because I knew I was gonna like it. And I got it on Steam Deck because I was like, I'd rather play it on Steam Deck than on a console. But I got bummed because I got it spoiled that Nine Inch Nails is like one of the first songs you hear in there, which is dope because it's like one of my favorite songs on there. I forget if I talked about this or not. But I read about that. I was like, oh fuck, they are. And so finally I got through it and I got to that point. I was like, oh dude, if I had played this without knowing, I would have popped off. That'd be one of my pop off moments. 'Cause that's sick. Game's pretty cool so far. David would hate it, but that's fair.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything else that I've been playing? I booted up Super Mario RPG. Have not really gotten far, but I did boot it up.
So many fucking banger RPGs in such a short amount of time. It's unfair. Like,
Yeah,
honestly.
dude. That's why I'm like actively trying to beat shit because I'm like I'm just trying to get through stuff this year, and it's like I still.
Truly, with my time off next week, I'm hoping to honestly just kind of quickly get through Near Replicant so I can try to play at least a couple more games from this year.
Right. But then I say I don't want it to end. I'm sure I'm gonna love that game. And I'm like, don't just leave. Um,
You gonna go for the 100%?
I'm thinking about it because I mean I've done it in both Drakengard's, which is infinitely more tedious. I'm sure.
Yeah, the only thing that's a little tedious about this is honestly the process to get all the weapons, but I mean, you kind of have to do that in all of them anyways if you're going for 100%. It's just, this one's pretty fucking grindy for it.
I did it in Drakengard 1 when I really didn't need to.
Sure, there were no Chivos back then.
No, I was just doing it.
Did it for the glory.
I did.
And the
Yeah.
self-pride.
Somehow I fucking decided to play through Drakengard to 100% completion. Lord help me. I never. You can. I still don't believe I would have done that. I'm like, why the fuck would I ever play like a badly controlled game just for that? Well, here I am.
You need to preserve that save file for all history. You need to make sure you got backups of it.
Yeah, Yoko Taro just got me, dude. Same thing with Sam Lake and Yoko Taro. They're the two video game creatives that just got me by the balls and like, hey, just do this. I'm like, all right. Yeah. What else did I play? I feel like I played something else. No, I was like this close. I booted up. I'm trying. I'm like fighting my mind right now because I'm like I need to just do Hi-Fi Rush. I need to sit through and just barge through it and get done with it. Because if I drop it again, I probably won't pick it back up. And it was close because I dropped it for like a quarter second and I was gonna start Pizza Tower because I'm like got an itch for Pizza Tower right now. But I'm like no, gotta hold back because if I don't, I'll just not do Hi-Fi Rush. So Pizza Tower, I'm coming for you eventually. David,
Yo.
what happened this week?
Fuck all, really.
And for a good reason.
We do have one thing we need to say pepperoni and cheese to. We've been saying it's been dead for years now, but
the day before
officially
The day before is dead, so rest
yes,
in peace.
The day before is dead. Rest in peace. We have talked about that much on this podcast.
We're big fans of it, so
It's
it
true.
sucks.
We were excited for that Kickstarter, and we were firm believers that one day it was going to amount to something and that it would prove everyone wrong. But it did not, sadly. Rest in peace. Honestly, read those Twitter threads. They're fucking hilarious. People just roasting the developers with their shutdown announcement.
For a good reason.
Yeah. Fuck them.
Yeah, 4 days. Oh, we're not financially viable to keep going. Yeah, okay, dude. Okay. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about it. I didn't give a shit about it beforehand. I didn't give a shit about it afterwards. It's just kind of funny because fuck them.
Facts.
David Wood actually died though, kind of still. I still say kind of heavily emphasized.
My self-respect. No, that had to have been alive first for it to die.
This is true.
What did actually die is everyone's favorite gaming convention, E3.
Yeah.
Sad day.
I feel like we've talked about this before like plenty of times, right? That's why I don't give a shit. Everyone's like mourning here, but it's like, what the fuck? Like E3's not really been a thing for a long time now.
Yeah.
What was the last real E3?
2019 was the last E3.
Yeah, and it's like, what the fuck? It's not really a thing. And even then, like it was kind of already on its way out, right? Like Nintendo stopped showing up, PlayStation kind of stopped showing up, and then Microsoft was really the only one there. So I mean, everywhere else was still there actually, but like it didn't really matter. E3 has long since been relegated to like, oh, it's June. That means that people are gonna announce shit, and which is gonna happen again, right? Like E3 is not.
Yeah.
E3 itself is dead, but like the time of the year is still gonna be June. I feel like just people are just kind of hardwired to that, therefore they're gonna do that. So yeah, I don't really care. I mean, going E3 was like maybe like a 16 to like 20-year-old Adrian thing. After that, I just didn't care.
Yeah, it was one of those things that I always told myself eventually one day I'd go and do it, but I didn't really care enough to actually make that a thing. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have any strong desire or interest to see that come back. The only thing, and this is one thing that someone pointed out that I do think is a little bit sus, is that now basically any kind of major game reveal announcement event is basically all run by Jeff Keighley. So he is our overlord of any big game announcement and reveals, aside from Nintendo, who still is the only one that is predominantly doing their own thing at any given time.
No, I mean, no, I disagree with that. The PlayStation and Xbox have both begun doing their own thing. If you're talking about like universal rallying,
yeah,
yes, then Jeff Keighley's running it. But like Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo both all have their own little state of play, Xbox Direct or Nintendo Direct, and then Xbox whatever.
But I still feel like we don't get like their actual like big banger things until at least around like Summer of Games or the Corpse of E3 time, or Game Awards.
Xbox is the only one that doesn't.
The other
Xbox is the only one that doesn't do their own self-driven thing and announce. Well, no, I disagree with that too, right? Because like Xbox does their own little E3 conference thing still, and that was always the day before E3.
Fair, but it's still again, it's around that Corpse of E3.
Sure. Yeah.
And so really the only night I just had to correct myself there because I also realized that the only other thing that still kind of stands out as its own thing is like Tokyo Game Show is like the only other like surviving bastion I can think of.
And companies like Rockstar who don't give a fuck, and there's like, hey, we're releasing this now. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Because when they were announcing, when it was rumblings that hey, Rockstar's gonna announce something, I'm like, holy shit, Game Awards actually got a Rockstar GTA 6 announcement. Rockstar's like, no, what the fuck? we're our own people. Who the fuck cares?
We're not giving them anything.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, because they know they can just own that. They can own like that whole day is theirs. Like everyone, if you're gonna announce something around there, get the fuck out. Like that day is theirs.
Yeah.
Kel said PAX. PAX is fair, but PAX doesn't really have like a showcase though. But
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't feel like anything gets announced there or gets like a big
nothing
reveal. It's
major,
just
right?
like yeah, it's usually just like the first time that we get like hands-on experiences for things.
Mm-hmm. Did you know what I watched? We rewatched last night after like a decade.
Hmm.
The Angry Joe Jeff Keighley interview. Do you remember that?
Where he just freaks the fuck out on him, and then it's like,
Yeah,
why don't you have these awards? And Jeff Keel's like, well, I mean, we do. Yeah, but like, why isn't this recognized? I mean, we do recognize that.
Jeff Keighley not only just like slaps him in the face, but also does it not even looking at him. Like he's like Jeff Keighley is so enamored with all the celebrityism, which is like fair. That's like a. I'm like even during VG times, I'm like I don't give a shit about the celebrity stuff. I'm kind of lukewarm on it now. I'm like it's neat only if they're involved. Like Jordan Peele being involved with Kojima, sure. We'll talk about some of that stuff in a second. But like um the Jeff Keighley's like so like enamored with watching all the red carpet stuff. And Angry Joe's just trying to say all this shit. And every time he brings something up, it was, why don't we have a best uh MMO category? What would you nominate? Final Fantasy 14? That came out this year? No? Okay.
Lo and behold, a few years later, it'd be constantly returning and fucking winning.
Yeah, because hold up. When did it come out?
Originally, it was like 2007 ish.
Oh, F14. Oh,
Because it came
I'm
out
not saying 14. What's the other one? It's FF11?
FF11. Fuck, that's like early.
Which one's the other MMO? Is it 11?
Yeah, 11's the other one.
Yeah, because and then 12 is not one, right? 12 is a game or no?
Right, 12 is regular. 11 and 14 are the only MMOs.
Yeah, so what the fuck was Angry Joe on about? Because he was like, oh, that came out. And then he came back and corrected. He was like, it actually did, but he just got into my head. It's like, what the fuck? Wait, hold on. Um, yeah, I don't know. Angry Joe looks like such a buster in that whole thing. He just like, yeah, you know, it's like, why do you have like best indie game presented by Mountain Dew? And he's like, we don't have that this year. Now it's best indie game presented by Guillermo del Toro, which is like also to its credit, like kind of it's not addy, but it's like, come on, dude, let's get a video game developer to present that. That's what I would have said, but like again, whatever. And then what else did he say? What was another funny one? The MMO one was funny. Um oh he goes, you know, you're doing this, but like, you know, this is the same like when the VGAs had like I don't know, some I forget the name. It was some actress back when saying like the first thing she did was walk out and say she's gonna whip her titties out. You think gamers like are you think you were stupid like that and you want us to have that? He's like, that was like 6 years ago. And then he's like, yeah, well when you've been executive producer, he's like 2 years ago. And then it cuts to Angry Joe being like, but someone has to answer for this. What the fuck do you want the guy that was not executive producer to fucking do? Like, the fuck? It's the you know what? And I saw a comment about this. Hey, kudos to Angry Joe for keeping that video up because it's an embarrassment. It is so.
Yeah.
It is absolutely.
He probably realizes that keeping it up just by itself still gives him relevancy and views to some degree.
Maybe, but I'd be embarrassed if I had that video up. Like I would do the thing where I would delete it, and it's like everyone can call me out and talk shit about me, all that. That's fine, fuck it. But like, that's an embarrassing ass video right there, and especially because like Jeff Keighley was like not that liked, especially back then. Like he was the Dorito Pope, right? It was always like, oh, ads, 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 ads. Now he's just a lot more. Now he's a lot more camouflage with the ads. Now the ads come in different forms, but it was definitely more in your face ads back then, and
Yeah.
like the Gillette Man and shit like that, right? But I don't know. It and then as soon as like just like, hey, yeah, I pass him on shoulder. Hey, yeah, just they watch the show and email me afterwards. Yeah, all right. Well, I hope you have a good show, man. I hope you enjoy the show. Pats him on the back, and then Joe looks back and comes back to the camera. Ooh, oh, it fucking makes me so mad. Like, come on, dude. You blew that. You First off, I wanted a 5 to 10 minute interview. I was not respected. You know what? I actually wanted a 15 minute sit down interview. It's like, dude, you're on the carpet right now. What the fuck do you want? You want a 5 to 10 minute interview with the creator of the VGAs on the carpet?
Yeah.
And all you're gonna do is bitch at him? When you start out with the first thing you say is, I got a bone to pick with you? All right, bro. Like, oh, dumbest thing I've seen. And I say I am not a fan of Angry Joe. I enjoyed his indoctrination theory. I thought it was good. I'm sure, like, back in the day, I probably enjoyed some more of his stuff because it was funny, raged. But I watch him now, and it's just like, it's just so shitty. It's like so mean spirited and just so lame. Like, I actually been trying to watch a bunch of the Herald of Darkness videos, and dude, just so many people just like are shitting all over it. They're like, oh, this is cringe, this is lame, and Angry Joe is one of them. Just like, this is so fucking lame and cringy. And then someone's like, oh, I mean, I think this is part of the game, but it's still lame and cringe. I'm like, all right, dude, like, yeah, Cal, this shit got old quick. Yeah, I can only, well, eventually, it's like when you hear a 20-year-old like raging internet, a raging gamer on the internet, okay, silly, ha-has. When you're 40 years old and you're like still raging about video games, now I'm like, all right, dude, like, what else you got going on? Like, is this a real thing, or are you still just like doing it for the camera? In which case, like, I either suck, both kind of suck.
Like, even an angry video game nerd, calm the fuck down after a certain point.
Angry video game needs to shave his head. He needs to shave his head. I'm sorry. You know, I mean, there was a whole plagiarism thing which we're dealing with, which not fun. Shoutouts. Yeah. I'm sorry, dude. David, I know we talked about it. Like, my crown's thinning. I get that. But, like, dude, his hairline is not existent anymore.
No, and I've never understood trying to desperately cling on to it. It's one of those things that I routinely purge my fucking hair at least once a season. I don't understand the innate desire men have about trying to preserve hair when, fuck it. I mean, either the shit grows back or it doesn't.
I'm of that group, and I don't like shaved heads. I never had my head shaved. I just don't like short hair. Like I said, if I'm on treatments trying to figure it out. I've already gone to dermatologists. We're gonna figure it out. I give myself like 5 years. So mark the words here. By 37, if we're somehow still fucking recording this podcast, 37 years old, if this shit is like not come back and it's like gone, I'm just gonna probably shave my head. And I do not want to. I just do not want to. I don't. But I will.
I'd imagine we're still recording something by that point. Let's be honest. Even if it's not necessarily this podcast, I think we'll always have some kind of thing
until our fucking graves.
Basically.
We'll see. I mean, the only thing, genuinely, if we look into the future, because I mean, to be fair, ask me 5 years ago, are you gonna ever record 200 episodes of a podcast? I'm like, no. What the fuck? Am I ever gonna record 50? No.
No one stays around that long.
Right. You think we'd make 500?
Oh, easily.
Easily? No, I don't know. Don't say easily. That's crazy. That's insane.
No, we can easily get there.
What do you think ends the podcast if it had to happen?
I think genuinely, what would end the podcast is us finding a project that we wanted to put the time into more.
I disagree. I know exactly what would end the podcast, but do you think that'd be it?
I think that would be it, because like we still talk about a lot of other projects that we want to do. I would always want to keep some kind of podcast going, but I think at a certain point when other things come up that's like I really want to put time and energy into that, I think that reducing podcast amounts would be my first go-to. It'll be save a bit more time in my day.
I disagree. I think we'd end every other podcast. I think would be permanent because you would need to detach from us being project based, and you would need an outlet to just like feel not so heavy about. I think because if you and I end up having to be in a working relationship like that, first off, things would change, right? Because it'd be like
Fair.
Have to manage it, and I feel like you'd want to have like the semblance of, because this podcast has always just been us just talking shit. Like, cool, let's talk about games, but if we don't talk about games for a whole episode, I don't fucking care. That's fine. Um, I feel like you'd want a outlet to just do that without the thought of work.
True, but if it's a situation where fast
Work
forward,
versus
we're still
that.
doing this, we're still doing games
Well, that's what I'm
gone
saying.
by.
I think we'd cut
Yeah.
everything else though, just because the other things are work, right? Like even though like we're gonna go through some backlog, if we're working on a project, a game's gone by is time out of your outside, right? But this is like
Yeah.
carve out. We can even carve it out like an hour, right? Right now we can end the podcast right now, right? And it's like cool, done for the week. But like the other ones I can see. I can tell you right now though. I think what would end the podcast is straight up is if I start having kids start popping up those little demons. I could see that either causing a hiatus or just cutting it because I feel like that's kind of what happens, right? Think of like everyone's like Connie Button, right? It's like things just people got adult lives and they kind of like started going, then eventually like the interest of doing this just kind of fades just because you have so much other stuff on the backload, right?
Fair.
So I think that would literally be, and you're not gonna pop kids out. You ain't reproducing this shit's your games are dust with you. Um, but yeah, no, if I ever do that, I think that'd be the most. But then I can also see it myself like I would probably need an outlet from that too, right? I need some sort of this being the consistent thread for the last 5 years has been kind of interesting. Like it's been in a fun way, right?
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, but how do we get to that? How do we get that topic again?
By what would end this podcast?
What did I say? Oh, hair.
Yeah.
37. I will shave a head if thinning turns into bald, and there's no way for rebirth. I've never had a bald head since I was a baby, so it's like I also scare that maybe like it's gonna be like one of those uneven heads, you know? You ever see those videos of people shaving their head for the first time? Like, what the fuck? Why is my head so dented? So I don't know. I don't. I just don't like the idea of me bald. It looks weird. I can already imagine. Also, it made me look my age. I don't want to look my age. I want to be a radiant, youthful ball.
You can hide in with those fellow kids again.
I wouldn't be able to if I had a bald head. That shit like I would look my
True.
age for sure if I like part of the reason why I look so young is also just the hairstyle, I think. Um anyway. Um yeah, so Jeff Keighley would have a stranglehold on a lot of things, which is weird. Um let's speak of that. So Game Awards, David, we watched it together. We had
Yeah.
fun. You liked a lot. You liked it more than everyone the rest of the internet because
Yeah, I had fun with it.
yeah, because it gave you the reveals.
Yeah.
Um, internet outrage right now, which hey, I stood with, and I think I mentioned it at the end of the recording too, is that I'm of the mind that I do wish there was more developer recognition or allowed them to speak some more, even if it's like I don't know. I don't I put myself in their shoes, and I'm like, dude, if I put all this time to win something and like I get rushed off the stage in 30 seconds or a minute, and then like Kojima walks up there and gets to talk about 10 minutes about this game that's like just being conceptualized. I'm like, I'd be kind of annoyed, probably.
Hmm.
Right? Because it's obviously favoritism. And then I do not care for them speedrunning like 17 awards. If you're gonna 30
Yeah,
second,
to be
if you're gonna 30-second everyone speeches, give every fucking award out instead of just like, hey, this thing won this thing won this. Because I'm like, dude, cool. So I can't even accept my fucking award and again Kojima and what's his name, Shang-Chi up there gets to fucking talk about his broken foot, and I can't get a fucking award and talk 30 seconds and say, hey, thanks to everyone that supported me.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's a bit gross, I think. Um, so I'm. This is the first time I feel like Game Awards got a good amount of backlash. I think. uh, for that. I think people like kind of had they kind of put their foot down on that. Because I think I don't know. It's weird to me. It's like Jeff. I don't know why Jeff Keighley. Like, he wants to have the stranglehold, right? He loves being the center of attention. And I say it as an ego thing, right? But it's like, I mean, I'm sure it's cool for anyone, right? If you're running this thing and you get to be like kind of the face of a lot of game reveals, that's great, right? That's career defining. So I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that in an ego way, but like, do you want to be the Academy Awards? In which case, no. Like, why are we getting? First off, we don't need always movie people then. If you're gonna be doing that, right? Like, we don't need to be replicating everything else. If you want to be the equivalent of that, you can't have reveals. And like, imagine like the Oscars don't have like, here's a new movie trailer. And granted, like, you're never gonna watch Oscars. That's 0% a thing for you. But like the people like,
I would never ever watch it. I have zero interest.
unless you knew Will Smith was slapping someone ahead of time.
I mean, if I knew ahead of time there was actually going to be hands thrown, I'd be like, well, why not? But then as soon as the hands were done being thrown, I'd dip back out.
Sure. Right. So I mean, it's got its own target audience, right? I don't know. It's just I don't know if Jeff Keighley is sincere in what he's trying to do, or if he's not, which always rubs me a little bit the wrong way. It's like, you can keep telling me you want this to be a celebration of developers. Do you? Do you?
You don't seem to be celebrating them.
You're not. You're not. You're giving like you're giving movie stars and like your favorite developers favoritism over everyone else. And I'm sorry, genuinely though. Like, for example, Larian winning Game of the Year, or with Baldur's Gate 3, and they're in there, they're trying to like have a word about the developers they lost over the course of the development, right? Like giving like a tribute to like, hey, we lost a lot of people over this development, so like big shouts to them. While the music's rushing them off, and it says like, please wrap it up in the back. I'm like, dude, that's
yeah,
that's pretty shitty. And again, I get that you are not the audience for that, but I just feel like just that's I don't know. That's pretty shitty, dude. Like, let them have their fucking moment, please. If you're gonna be the Game Awards, and you're not even the definitive one, right? Like, I hope people like realize that still. Like, there's 0% reason to define Game Awards as the be all end all when it's not. It should not be. But if you want to act
one
like
that has the most press coverage,
which is because of the game reveals.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason why BAFTA and Golden Joystick and stuff just don't get the views. Is because like they just do that. But if you want to be some like the Academy Award equivalent, you got to cut that shit, because holy shit, you would have been ridiculed the fuck if you were like the Oscars doing that, and like some actor went up there, or a director went up there with one movie of the year and like gave a big shout out to like people who have died over the course of like making that. You would have been eaten up alive, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, never mind. Kels is right. What do you mean? You do not see him celebrate Kojima? Let him have plenty of time. You're right. We are celebrating developers. This is correct. Yeah, I don't know. I think about that, Dave. Like, I know I mentioned this to you. I think we mentioned like after the Game Awards talk. And I guess you wouldn't, because you wouldn't if you and I developed a game.
Yeah.
I feel like you wouldn't even want to go to the Game Awards.
Absolutely not. I have zero interest. I got better things to do with my time, like just watch.
So yeah, if we'd ever get awards,
my home.
if we ever get awards, I'm the one accepting, because you're saying fuck that.
Yeah, I would be the Bill Clinton kid. I would not be allowed. I would not be trusted up there.
Because you just go, this shit sucks.
Thank you for this award and wasting my goddamn time. I am leaving now.
I'm gonna go make DLC now. For free.
You clowns paid for this. Thank you.
Shout out to piracy is what you would say.
Shout out. Fuck it in.
That's what you would say. You would
Yeah, that would be dangerous. Let me up there.
Yeah, or you'd be like just go. You'd say R and just wink at the camera or something.
No, I wouldn't be subtle about it at all. Fuck that.
Yeah, no, yeah, you say shots of piracy. I like to give a thank
shout
you.
Out to piracy, the real preservationists of the games industry.
I'd like to say thank you to my wife, I like to say thank you to
Mama
this. I
Ash.
like to say thank you to this person, this person. And I also like to say thank you to piracy. Hey, shouts for preserving things that these fucking companies over here. I see you, Todd Howard. I see you. Yeah, you guys are not preserving shit. Give me my games. So I'll accept awards.
You'll love to see it.
I'll accept whatever awards. I don't know, but that's how I feel, right? Is if like you had a small studio of like 5 and even like one person passed away in there and you're getting told to wrap it up, like come on, dude. I'm sorry. That's shitty. The reveals itself were good. Like we had some bangers. David, what was some of your top ones?
I don't fucking remember.
Sega? I think Sega came out there fucking
Sega. Oh yeah. Sega has it here. Let me pull up my tweets because I genuinely don't even actually remember.
Sega's the
what
one
was
I remember
shown
because
off.
Sega
That's fucking nowhere.
that's literally like fan fiction. Like that.
Okay.
Literally, if you had a bingo card, you list all 5 of those like side by side. You would never fucking assume that. Like, it broke our brains because we're like, what the fuck is this? Oh, I guess it's another like Sega collection. Hold on.
Yeah, that's
Why?
what I was expecting.
And
But yeah, no, we're getting whole new games.
It's funny because like it still didn't click with me the entire way through. Like we're seeing like brand new graphic Jet Set Radio. We're seeing like Streets of Rage, and it's like we're like, what
seeing
the?
Crazy Taxi.
No, that's what it was.
No.
That's what it was. It was like everything else I'm seeing like there. You're seeing Golden Axe. I'm like, this is crazy. Shinobi. You're seeing. I'm like, huh, what is this? And it wasn't until seeing Crazy Taxi, just looking fresh as fuck, and I was like, oh shit, no, this is a real thing.
Yeah, so Sega out of nowhere. Here's Crazy Taxi, Shinobi, Jet Set Radio, Golden Axe, and
Streets of Rage.
Streets of Rage.
And
Brand new
more.
games for all of them. And more.
Virtua Fighter, David?
That was rumored to be at the event because a lot of people in the FGC have been getting something relating to Virtual Fighter in the mail lately.
It's gonna be on there. There's and more. So I mean, assume there's gonna be like 1 or 2 more, right?
Yeah. But yeah, no, absolutely fucking wild to see that. Truly.
Sega, like a fucking company actually fucking listening finally and being like, hey, we have all these fucking IPs. Let's do something with them. You know, like opposite shout outs to fucking everyone else. Can I get an F-Zero that's not F-Zero 100? I get F-Zero 99. I get that's fun. It everyone loves it, and I still stand by it that I think this is their test market, which by the way it did really well. So hopefully there's an F-Zero sometime coming. Earthbound.
Man, Mother 3 needs to fucking just.
That was rumored like I swear 10 years ago at this point, right? It was like always like because they dropped Earthbound Beginnings on there and we're like, surely, right? Like, this has to happen. Never did. And then like PlayStation sits on a lot of shit too. Especially now, like Xbox, Lord knows where the fuck is Banjo. I was like, we had to have a Banjo renaissance, right? 2019, motherfuckers. You Nintendo gave you the most fucking marketing out of everything for one of your fucking IPs that you've sat on since 2008, I think was Nuts and Bolts.
Yeah.
We've had 2019, 11 years later. You had Banjo-Kazooie was like, holy shit, people were like, oh, this is what the boomers were wanting all this time. That's cool. This dumbass Baron Bird, that's cool. What game are they from? Oh, is there anything? How the fuck? I was like, I would have like bet it all. I was like, surely Microsoft understood. Hey, holy shit, this fucking IP that we have, it's popping off. That's crazy. Let's make a game on it. The way they go about that, they say, is that they just kind of like let studios just pick whatever IP they want to do. If they want to do a new one or they want to use one, they're allowed to. I'm sorry, dude. I would have been throwing it out there. Who the fuck wants to make a Banjo-Kazooie game? Someone's got to step up, right?
Also, who's not interested in doing that? That's the bigger question. Because clearly that means no one is really that interested in doing it from a developer perspective.
Right?
Honestly, maybe that's for the best then. Like, if it's genuinely open season, like, no, go fucking do whatever you want with the IPs. Just kind of let us know what you want to use. And if no one is stepping up to the plate, I would much rather than no one touch it and wait until there's actually a studio that's passionate and goes, no, we need to do this now.
Well,
Please,
the
thank you.
the thing is, I think they're so hands off though, and they don't do the. I know there's no such thing as second party, but what you'd assume is second party, which is like a studio doing an exclusive game for someone else.
Yeah.
Thanks, juice.
I think that is an actual term for.
I know. I think I've heard developers all just trash talk that. But it's like I would assume Playtonic, if you just approach them, hey, can you guys make a Banjo game? Like I want Microsoft to approach other studios and just ask. Again, you're not forcing them. Just ask, would you guys be interested in making a Banjo game?
Call up Retro. Hey, when you're finally done Metroid Prime, can you go ahead and make us Banjo-Kazooie next?
Like, holy shit. Well, I would not know if I would trust Retro at this point. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Their best.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure there's plenty of people like Hat in Time. I'm sure if you gave the people the resources to make a Banjo game, like it should have happened by now, right? But that's the way to do it is open season. Which, by the way, you've been looking at the Killer Instinct stuff.
No.
I mean, it's got a whole fucking fresh coat of paint. It's got an update with new patch notes on there.
Cool. Is it a whole new game with a different fucking play style?
Some characters.
No, I don't care. Wake me up when there's a new one.
I
I hate the combo confirm system. It's so fucking trash. I really hate it.
Okay, well, you don't like Killer Instinct, which is fine. But hey, shout out to them reviving it though. Like I'll fuck with any company. It's like, hey, you know what? You guys like this? You guys want to go back to it? Fuck it. Let's free update, new coat of paint.
I appreciate that, but
sure,
goddamn, give us a new one at that point. Like,
well,
I think there is a certain span where, on one hand, I'm glad that I got 10 years of support because that is absolutely fucking unprecedented. That is wild for a fighting game. I think the only other fighting game that probably comes as close is basically Tekken 7.
That's crazy,
but
huh?
even then, it's one of those things that, like, 5 years. 5 years should be the max because as much as you enjoy the one particular game, you need some kind of new, something different or fresh with it. Like, you can always go back and play the Legacy one if the new one ends up trash, but after that point, like, you got to do something different with it.
Right. But I appreciate still, like, if you're gonna, because that is the least amount of developers you can do, and just that's your gauge interest, right? It's like, does the game have enough interest? Rather than doing some dumb shit with it, or just saying, oh, I guess it doesn't. Give a handful of developers like, hey, here are the keys. Update the game and let's see. And I hope that's the approach. I hope that because I if you're gonna approach and do that, I fuck with that. That's fine. Update the game. People are getting into it again. Let them make a new one. If that's the intent, down. Pregnant pause. Yeah, I'd ooh, how do we get on that too now? Sega.
Things that were announced. Yeah, Sega.
What other ones did you tweet about?
Let me pull that tweet list back up here. Let's see. What was the next thing that stood out to me? Usual June looked like a kind of cozy, interesting game. Matchless Kung Fu looked kind of fun, apparently. I don't even remember what the fuck it is now. Oh, that Harmonium the musical looked really sweet. I do actually look forward to that coming out.
The one game with the Untitled Goose Game people.
Walking for Forever or some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that looked interesting. I'm trying to think of a couple other ones.
Windblown. That one looked like a fun kind of co-op-y game there.
Mm-hmm.
Thrasher looked pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah, that one did.
World of Goo 2, a surprise I don't think anyone had on their fucking bingo cards.
Yeah, we mentioned it. I was like, big shout out to them. I'm hoping they blow up with that one because I like that company, but they've just not really had anything of interest.
We got another look at Metaphor. It's looking fucking crispy. I'm excited.
Yeah, you love that one.
Senua Saga still looking like the first true game to actually give me next gen vibes.
This is fucking that's incredible, right? Like we're already, we're like what?
We're getting close to what I would estimate is the halfway point for this gen.
Right. And it's just now happening.
It's not in our news docket, but the designs for PS5 Pro have been leaked. So that's interesting.
What did it look like?
It basically just looked like beefier hardware. Just make more, just add more is the TLDR.
Which it's like, do we fucking need it? Like, you guys are still like not really feeling like it doesn't feel like my PS5 has got like.
No, here's
Go
the
off
thing,
on
and
that
I
David's
imagine
rant.
this
Let's hear it.
Here's the thing that pisses me off a lot with this is the fact that fucking we're in a very cursed but blessed era for game development and game design. We are blessed with the fact that we have such absurdly powerful computers and are able to just produce such insane things and have
Amazing hentai
effectively
games.
amazing hentai games. Truly the shit younger me dreamed of.
Can you imagine what would
But
younger you do if you had the rig right now?
Fucking
Actually,
if
we don't want to
younger
hear
me
that.
had the
Never mind.
VR
Yeah,
hentai
never
games,
mind. Never mind.
goddamn.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk over you. I take that question back. Continue about how blessed we are with this
Fucking have dartboards everywhere. Let's go.
I wish you didn't ask that. I don't know why I asked that. That was the dumbest thing I've ever done.
Not the dumbest, but it's up there.
It's up there.
But no, it's absurd the insane levels of power that we have on just the average gaming rig. But the problem is, and I've talked with a lot of developer friends of mine, not necessarily game development, but just regular coding development. We've gotten to a point where there's so many layers of obfuscation with development.
Can you spell that word?
It used to be back in the day, you learned assembly, and then you would go ahead, and then as time went on, you would learn like C, basic, just very still low-level coding languages.
Sure. I'll talk
And
about
now
level
it's
coding.
gotten to a point where we're developing off of pre-rigged game engines like Unity and Unreal Engine, and there's not a lot of optimization going on. It's not a magic thing where it's like, yes, you can go ahead and build this crazy wild thing, but it's expecting there to be a certain default level of overhead. And there's always going to be a certain default level of overhead because you're using so many layers of code just to even get to that point of your game engine that's interacting with the hardware.
Mm-hmm.
And so shit has become so wild and so bloated that there's no real optimization to the extent that we used to see. Things like SimCity and a lot of older games like Doom even were insanely impressive because they squeezed such an insane amount.
They were
of
optimized. I mean,
power.
fucking shouts to Iwata, right? He's the reason why. First off, he's the reason why like Pokemon Gold and Silver had all of Kanto in it, right?
That's actually a myth. That was.
Oh, is that fake?
Yeah, that was determined to be a myth. That was talked about. Fucking Did You Know Gaming did a video talking about.
Oh damn! Yeah, he did help Melee
yes, he was involved with the decision making, but
he did get Melee finished up though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that no one is taught really that low level coding anymore. Everyone, when they're going to like college and whatnot, or if they're going to like YouTube tutorials, which is a big common way, especially at the indie level, people are learning. They're learning Game Maker, they're learning Unity. Again, they're learning all these like simple, in comparison, tools to build the games. Like even RPG Maker, just a very simple by comparison tool to make your game. Versus going ahead and learning that very prominent low-level coding language that could actually give you proper optimization and give you a proper access to all the hardware at the level you want and need. And there's the argument for, well, I mean, with what hardware we have, is it really needed? Well, when fucking we're at a point where a brand new AAA game release can't even run at fucking 30 frames a second anymore. We have somehow looped back around to where we are fine with games running at 30 frames a fucking second. And I find that fucking wild.
It's because
There is
because this whole thing about fidelity, and bigger, 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 which does not mesh with where we're at.
Absolutely not. And even then, like, a lot of the fidelity stuff over time will be resolved, I imagine, once tools like FSR and what's the one from NVIDIA there, or Intel, I can't remember. The DLSXR.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, that's a camera, I think. Something in that weird acronym family.
DSS or DLSS?
Yeah.
DLSS?
Yeah, DLSS. There we go. A lot of that stuff will make the visual optimizations be a lot more pertinent, because eventually we're going to get to a point where we're no longer trying to raw transmit, the 4K textures and all that. And I know that does take a good graphical horsepower to do, but the problem is we don't fucking need that. Like, 4K is both, again, one of the greatest and worst things to fucking happen to gaming. Yes, when you have a beautiful HDR10 picture and everything is scaled right for it, yes, looks fantastic. But, at the end of the day, when I'm fucking playing a game, do I really care if my frame rate's dropping?
Well, yeah. First off, like competitive players will always turn that shit down.
Yeah.
Also, that rang true, because remember what's one of our favorite video games this year, David, that we just didn't play enough of that we meant to.
Call of Duty.
No, but you're on the right track.
Battlefields, whatever it was.
BattleBit, remember?
BattleBit, yes.
And that is the literally the ringleader of that exact argument, where it's like, hey, we want the fucking gameplay. Like, Battlefield's been shit in the bed for like the better part of the last decade. Yeah. And BattleBit came in and said, hey, we're gonna do like less than Roblox style fucking graphics, but we're gonna bring you like the Battlefield gameplay you want. And that popped off. Like, that shit got popular.
Yeah.
And it was fun. We had fun.
Fucking great game.
I want to play more of that. I went right on vacation right when that happened, but I would like to play more of that too. Let's get some shooter stuff going when we do Ready or Not and BattleBit. But
yeah, I just wish it better supported Linux, because the anti-cheat has been updated for Linux support still, which is bullshit.
But at least but still, like, on that end, towards the argument, it's like that's what I would like, is just refine this gameplay right now. I think I don't need the games to look incredible. Like, is that cool? Sure, but like, if I have an option, I always pick performance. There is almost no world. I don't even know which ones they are where I pick like visual fidelity over performance. It always throws me off. I think Gore was one of those people. I could never understand that. I was like, I'm never going 30 frames. There's an option 30, 60. In fact, if anything, it's 120 is kind of where I want to start hitting now, right? But like,
I don't even care about 120. Just give me a consistent 60 frames.
60. I mean, 60 is like the spot, right? If I can get 120, that's what I want for sure. Especially like competitive games, yes. But like,
in a competitive game, sure, fine. Unless it's a fighting game. If it's like a shooter or something, yes.
Yeah, but like, and I'll never forget. Like, I didn't quite know, right? Especially if you're a console gamer, you don't quite understand. Especially like in the last gen, I'd say, where what was the difference, right? We're always stuck with 30, 30, 30, so we didn't really get it. It wasn't until I think Last of Us Remastered when you can click there and you felt the difference immediately. It's like, oh, this is what it is. Now, I will say, the only time I ever opt for not 60 is on Steam Deck. Steam Deck, I dropped to 40, I believe.
Yeah, 40. 40 is the kind of ideal. Depending what game you're playing, sometimes I will just set it to 30, just because sometimes 40 can be a little choppy. But,
yeah, so but 40, I think like weirdly, because the math, when you look at that, the math doesn't make sense. But like the way that it's explained, 40 is actually the midpoint for you in between 30 to 60. And then I'm hearing that on the newest Steam Deck update that it actually, with the whatever the FS whatever,
the FSR.
Yeah, that actually bumps it to 45, and it feels really good there too. So that's it seems like the only where I compromise with that, but I'm not really minding that because it's on handheld. That my compromise is already like portability and comfort already. So it's like I
Yeah,
don't
you are making a specific compromise using that device.
if I am at the fucking computer, which I already don't like to be at to begin with, if I'm at the computer or if I'm on a goddamn console, I expect performance and I expect like smoothness. I do not want any choppiness. I don't want any like of that. I expect gameplay smooth over everything else. Cause at this point, any game mode that offered me fidelity versus performance, I've never once like turned on performance and be like, oh, this looks terrible. I gotta go put on fidelity. Like no, I've never at this point games look fine enough that I'm okay with.
Yeah.
If graphics never improve from this day forward, I don't care.
Yeah, and honestly, 4K is the realistic limit. Like there is 8K is technically the visual limit to where the human eye can have any actual perceivable difference. But I don't really think that 8K gaming is anything realistic, nor should it be anything we actually care about in all earnesty. Fucking get us to where we can have consistent 60 frames a second first, then get
I
us
agree.
consistent 4K 60, then get us consistent 4K 120, and then after we have all those other optimizations, maybe we can worry about 8K.
8K
But
30.
honestly, even 8K 30. But honestly, even in 10 years' time, like I don't think we'll ever see a mass market adoption of 8K. Unless it just becomes so cost
Which to be fair, they are the TVs didn't tend to drop. 'Cause, I mean, even now, 4K TVs are cheap as hell.
You can get pretty cheap 4K TVs.
They're
but
just not
there's still
quality.
No mass adoption of 4K.
And the quality of the 4K itself is not amazing.
The quality's not the greatest, but still, we still don't have a mass adoption of 4K yet. It is still a niche minority that really uses 4K.
Yeah,
The niche is only going to be even smaller for 8K if that even really does.
You know what shit bugs me is when it's how people are just bought in by the marketing, right? And it's like they don't understand what they're doing and they don't set things. Because right, like in a perfect world, if you buy a nice ass TV, you need someone to calibrate that shit.
Yeah.
Like you don't just get a brand new TV and everyone. And yeah, sure, I'm sure it looks prettier, but like it's not maximized,
No.
at all. But like even then, like even if you're not gonna get calibrated, it bugs me. Like it's always people that are older that do this, and it's like I had to fix my families too. It's like when they get it and they're like, oh, this is amazing, but you look at it and it's like not optimized for movies. So it's like, have you ever seen that where it's like you look at it looks like they all look like movies or shows look like they're like telenovelas where it's like it looks like you're looking at the set because it's so smooth and clear that you're looking at the set, and I'm like, this is gross. What the heck? And they're like, what do you mean? Like, I'm like, no, it's not what you're supposed to. You gotta go turn on like the movie mode to put the blur on this to cap the frame rate. Otherwise, it looks so real that it looks like you're on the set, which is not how it's supposed to. It needs to like all like those kind of cinematic things are built to be choppy, but like they're so in the way they're built like that though. It's like that's how it builds its look. So it's like you don't want it to be super smooth at 60. That's when it looks unreal because it's so real.
Exactly.
And I hate that's my personal pet peeve. Whenever I see someone with like brand new big ass TV, and I'm like, what is this? Is cinema mode not on? Like, what do you mean? I'm like, this is not the way it's supposed to look. This looks like it looks like you're sitting on the set. How do you even? I can't accept the story like this. I'm like, look, here's the actor standing. Look,
so
there's the
gross.
light right there. Like, what the heck? Yeah. So 4K, yeah. With that, I would hope that. So like, when you look at like something like even like Alan Wake 2, I know I'm gonna keep talking about it forever, but like when you're blending live action with video games, and yeah, like you obviously anyone with like with like enough of eye can just tell like right like it doesn't blend perfectly. It's like real life live action and then the gameplay obviously different.
Yeah.
It's not gonna will we get to that point where it doesn't? I don't think so, but like close to whatever. But like even then, like with how Alan Wake does with live action to video game, I don't mind that. Like there's 0% of me that cares about. Like I'm like cool. My brain bridges it fine. I'm good with that. I don't need it to look photorealistic the entire way through. Like that's not of interest. If I want to see something photorealistic, I'll go watch a movie. Right? Like I'll watch something else that like is supposed to like immerse me in that. Like gameplay, I just want it to feel good. These people, man. And then yeah, so going back to that coding thing. And then that's why we have games that are like fucking 90,000 gigs now.
Yeah.
Can we not? Americans, we have data caps still, which is annoying. It's something that should just not be a thing.
And some countries and some regions of America still have shit internet.
Mm-hmm.
But we are genuinely getting to the point where 100 GB fucking update for a game is not unreasonable. And that's disgusting.
Shout out to Call of Duty. Call of Duty 200 gigs, I think, is Call of Duty. That has no business being that big. Like, what the fuck?
Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, so that's what David would say as during his acceptance speech too.
Yeah, fuck your lack of optimization and fuck your goddamn amateur hour bullshit.
David would be the type of developer where if we had this expansive game, he would try to fit it in 1 gig.
If I actually had the time and patience to develop the skill set for proper coding optimization, I would. 100%, I would be like, all right, time to chase the Doom effect. Can our game run on a fucking birth control stick? Let's find out.
If the game popped off and made money enough that you could just like have a safe, stable living, you think you would just like for funsies do that, or would you have to work on your project?
Absolutely not. I hate coding too much.
You know what though? You would be the godsend of the video game community. Can you imagine that? Because how many times it does happen, but how many times do you hear about an update coming out that lowered the file size and added shit and lowered the file size? That does not happen very often. It happens, not very often.
No, I think like other than again, the obvious Doom, I think like Cannibalt is one of the more recent examples of a game that fucking basically runs on everything.
Yeah. So, shout outs to that.
I actually just got a Commodore 64 port recently.
Does that make you happy?
A little bit, actually.
Good. Let me see what's left, and otherwise, I think that we're feeling pretty good.
Feel these nuts.
Got him. Day before sold 200,000 units with 91,000 refunds on the same day. Good. Oh,
love to see it.
Have you seen the trailer for Mouse?
What the fuck are you talking to me about?
Oh, hold up, David. Actually, you would think this is cool. Hold up. I'm gonna send this to you. The worst thing about this is the release date. Watch that trailer. Tell me that's not really fucking cool.
You know what's cool about Blue Sky is they actually warn you when an account is an impersonation account.
Twitter would never. Tell me when you're watching that video, David.
No, I'm watching it.
You don't think that looks cool?
It's all right.
Oh, you're crazy, dude. I think that looks sick. I love that. If you haven't seen Mouse,
I don't have the same nostalgia for that type of animation.
I don't have nostalgia for it at all. I just think it's cool because it's different.
It's cool because it's different, but that's it.
I mean, that's fair. If you haven't seen Mouse, it takes place. It's like one of the old timey, like Steamboat Willie style cartoon, but it's an FPS.
Yeah,
which is cool. That looked dope. I'm excited for that, but I'm not either because it's 2025. Jury decides Google has a legal monopoly in App Store fight. That makes you happy.
What was that?
A jury decided Google has an illegal monopoly on App Store.
Gross.
Gross for what?
They get to have the monopoly?
No, they decide that they have it. Like they decide that it's illegal.
Yeah, as in their need to break that shit up.
Yep. Let's see. Tekken 8 demo. You hear about that?
Yes. It comes out the 14th, I think it is, first for the PlayStation, and then a week later for other platforms.
You gonna play?
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir. Um. Oh, I didn't realize
Are
that,
you
but
gonna play it first on PlayStation as well, or are you gonna wait for PC?
PC.
Okay. Because I was gonna probably just drop in on PlayStation where you have that as well, anyways. But if you're waiting, fuck it, I'll wait for the PC one.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll just do PC. Really quick, I also wanted to point out a couple things about the day before. Um, Valve removed the ability to purchase day before on Steam after Fnatic closure. Okay, but I didn't realize this. Steam offered refunds on day before, even if you play more than 2 hours.
Yes, and the company was trying to say, no, we organized something with Steam to make sure that could happen.
Did Steam come out and say no? That would have been really funny.
Steam hasn't come out to say no explicitly, but the timing doesn't seem to line up.
Does not. Oh, Free Radical closed.
Yeah, they changed their name. They're a different studio name now.
Meaning that there's no more Time Splitters.
Oh no, I thought we were still talking about that same story.
No, Free Radical
no.
is closed.
Sad day.
Yeah.
Who owns the IP then?
Probably THQ Nordic. Or no, it was Embracer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably never anything's happened with that.
No. Embracer literally just bought everything up. Everyone saw them as the saviors, like, oh cool, everything's coming back, and then everything got canceled, and now they're not.
Yeah, because they realized, oh shit, we spent too much, and then had to shed everything.
Right. I just realized. Did I get the Apollo Justice collection?
I have my pre-order in for it.
And where'd you get it from? Asia?
Amazon.
Fuck. Because I think I don't know if I did it on I don't think I did. When's it coming out?
January, I think.
Oh, I don't think I need to, right? It'll. It's not like a limited thing.
No, I think the only one that was limited, which I still need to track down, is the fucking old timey ones there.
Right. Those are cool.
Yeah, I still need to track those down for the collection, but I have not played
The
those
Feudal
yet.
Japan ones.
Yeah.
Yes, you do, sir. Did you see when the release date for that is?
I just found the January 25th.
Shit's fucked, dude.
The beginning of the year is goddamn stacked, my guy.
Are you gonna play? Or you get so excited for Yakuza, and it's so funny because like you still have a lot of shit to get through to get to the new ones.
Yeah, I'm like halfway through 4. I still haven't even actually finished 4, and people say that 4 is the best one.
And
so
you're gonna try to go through 0 again.
Yeah,
You're crazy, David.
I am.
Crazy Dave. All right, I think that's the podcast. I think we're feeling good with that.
I agree.
Yeah, so no more games got by lined up until January 8th for Nier Replicant. Big shout outs to that.
Hell yeah.
We'll see you guys next week for this. Kels, if you're in chat, really quick, I want to ask you while you're here because you didn't answer me. Did you mean you got spoiled by what was new in Alan Wake Final Draft, or did you mean like something else happened? Because I didn't know what to make of the way you said that. I don't know if you're in there in the chat or not. I'm gonna give you like a minute if you are. But on that topic, I don't know if I'm gonna play the full Final Draft on stream. I might not. I'm contemplating it. Because I do like playing games. So if I'm on PC and I'm playing a game, I don't see a reason not to stream. But also it's like I just also don't like the feeling like it's like I'm being boring. You know, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know if you're in the stream.
Yeah, that's why I don't stream. I hate the feeling of always being on. It's such a disgusting feeling for me.
Right. But then again, I don't feel like I'm on. I just feel like, does anyone give a shit?
Fair. No, for me, it's the feeling of being on because like I am not naturally a social person.
Well, so
this is me this is me spending time with a friend, but then also putting on the airs of like, I want to engage an audience as well.
Yeah, you I mean, I'll put it out there. I'm sure you would much prefer if the podcast was off
Oh,
stream.
100%.
Uh,
Yeah, I would find it far more relaxing and enjoying.
uh, and this is definitely the most animated you are, just in general with that stuff. Um, I don't mind. I think I could hold down if it was that. I don't do reactions. We talked about that. I don't do reaction videos specifically because of that. Because I don't. 99.9% of the time, I'm not reacting in a way, right? Even
Yeah, what kind of absolute psychopath just does reaction content?
that's crazy, right? I don't know. One day,
Glad we don't know anyone like that.
yeah, YouTubers, shout out. I I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. I understood. Oh yes. So whenever I'm reacting, or if I'm playing a game, like even if you go back and watch my Alan Wake playthrough, my brain's processing a lot. That's kind of what it is. When I'm watching things, unless like something obscene like Banjo or the Herald of Darkness that I've been wanting and was excited for happens, my brain's sort of just processing. So, but like if you catch the subtleties of it, and I'm kind of just doing what I'm doing, you'll know when it means something to me. So, for example, uh, if you go back and watch my Alan Wake playthrough on twitch.tv/depunked, when the whole crazy section of that game, if you know, you know, happens, I literally like I looked back at my reaction. I was like, I wonder how I reacted. So I look back and I'm just playing and you just hear me go, what the fuck? And I just keep doing it. I have like a blank face. But like if you heard me say what the fuck like audibly by myself, because if there's no one in chat, what you see is what you get, and that's literally like my genuine reaction. And if you get something audible out of me, that's massive. Like that's something that like I will just straight face silent go through things alone, and it does not matter. Like, I can love something, doesn't mean I have to say a goddamn thing or like hoot and holler and laugh out loud. I can enjoy that. But like if something got audible phrasing out of me alone, that doesn't happen. So like when that's like the extent of my reaction. So like when something crazy like that happened, I go, what the fuck? That means like, oh, that caught him. But like if we're watching reactions, like I can't react alone. Like I don't I'm just watching shit. And the reason why
because like truly whenever I'm sorry.
No, go do your thing.
You go ahead, man. I was gonna say because like that's always been the kind of big thing, unless it's something that is truly like out of fucking left field, or something that you're like, oh, it's gonna happen, like either Sega or like Banjo finally coming to Smash. You're usually fairly low key about a lot of things, so it's usually either myself or Kyle or Chris that's like, no, let's get fucking ridiculous with this shit.
Yeah, well, yeah, because ironically enough, right, you were the one that's like, oh hell yeah, for a lot more things, right? But like, I am I excited for a lot of shit? Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't like audibly like make that confirmation. But when I do, it's a lot. It's like a burst of energy. That's like I'm like got that the cat zoomy energy there. But that's why like the only two reactions I have on my channel are really just the Banjo and the Herald of Darkness, because like that's literally the most you're gonna get out of me. I'm not gonna sit through videos. I'm not gonna upload videos, especially if there's nothing of it. The most I will react in Game Awards being like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's just because it's a discussion with friends. If I'm hanging out with David or watching some stuff with friends, sure, I'll record that because it's just me hanging out with the homies. I just can't react to things because my reaction is sort of just more cerebral, where it's like I'm just kind of just taking it. I'm like, oh, that's cool, but I say it in my head. I don't really feel the need to word vomit because that's what it would be. I would be a bumbling idiot when it comes to that.
Speaking of which, where are you at for Thursday?
Let's skip.
You're gonna skip this one?
Yeah, but that means you guys should know what level was pretty decent then, so hop me in another time. Just because, yeah, also this week I'm gonna be exhausted. Yeah. That's the podcast, guys. So shout outs. Thanks everyone for hanging out. We'll stay tuned for episode 500.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. See you stream.
Bye.